So please enter into prayer with me. And taking this deep breath and just letting it go. Knowing that there is one light, one infinite oneness, with no beginning, no end, that is eternal, radiant, and utterly whole. This light, this one light, illumines all that it comes across. The way the summer evenings flits and flickers as it collapses into nightfall. The steadfast gaze of that perched hawk on the long arm of cedar, and the salmonberries blush at the edge of the trail. This divine presence is in, through, and as all things. It is the light behind all shadow, that eternal flame that I am of. This light shines through me. I am not separate from it. I am this holy aperture which it shines through. Its light beaming through my breath, through my words, through my actions. This is my truth. This is the truth for each one here as well. That each one here is a ember in that fire of source. That each one here brings their true self, brings their authentic self into this service today. Each one here is a beam of that infinite light, distinct yet undivided. So I speak my word for this spiritual community here today, knowing that every word that is uttered feeds this community the way the storm feeds the river. I know that the music here today is this ancient inheritance, this remembering of our true frequency. And I know that in the silent moments that each one's nervous system is calmed and new synapses are built upon this holy ground, felted into the fabric of each one's being. And so I have gratitude for this. I have much thanks for this truth. Thanks for this light that shines through this community and through this service here today. And gratitude for the law that responds unfailingly to whatever is given to it. And so I humbly and lovingly give this word over to that law, knowing that it is done. Knowing that there is nothing that needs to be fixed, only needs to be seen and recognized and revealed. And I simply say, and so it is.
So it is. There's a story in the Zen tradition of a young initiate who comes to a temple to study with a famous teacher. And the teacher tells him to go out to a nearby stream and sit and listen until he hears all that the stream has to say. So sit and listen and hear the stream. And so day after day, this young initiate goes out and sits by the stream and tries to wrap his mind around it, tries to take it all in. And after several days of doing that, he's sitting there one day, and a young monkey comes and jumps into the stream and starts splashing around and playing in the stream. And he's moved to tears by this moment. And he comes back to the teacher and he tells him about that. And the teacher looks at him and kind of gently chides him and he says, "The monkey heard. You just listened." Our talk today is about living out loud, living fully, getting wet with life, yes? Getting into the stream and playing. We've been working this whole month on the theme of the lightness of being incredible. And you are incredible. Nudge your neighbor and say that. You are incredible. You're incredible. You're incredible. So when we talk about living out loud, we're not talking about yelling and screaming and being really loud about it. We're talking about letting our life be so full that it speaks for us. That it speaks for us. To let that life express. And so we get trained oftentimes to hide our authentic self, to hide our deep who we are. And oftentimes in our lives, we've gotten ridiculed, disapproved of, told who to be and not to be, told to do certain things only behind closed doors, and slowly, slowly shut down our playful self. How many can relate to that a little bit, at least? Yes, okay. And we've got some kids too, yes. And we exchange that creativity and that playfulness for approval and fitting in. We exchange our uniqueness for sameness. And most especially, being at most seen and not heard as children. And sometimes not even seen. And then being told, well, that's just life. But I'm here to tell you it's not. There's another option. Helen Keller said life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. Life is the monkey splashing in the stream, not the person sitting on the shore. And so part of what I'm going to invite you to do today and this week is to not sit on the shore, but to jump in the stream and get wet. Instead of sitting on the shore trying to understand and analyze the stream without jumping in. One of the best things we do as children is we dream. Yes, we dream. And we have dreams, and we don't get stuck on any one dream. If you ask a child, what's your dream today, and ask them the same question a week from now, it'll be different, yes? We don't get stuck on it. We engage in the practice, the process of dreaming, which is far more important than having, I've got to know my dream, the only dream I can have. You know, we play with that process. So what the dream is less important than the fun of dreaming. And I have my talk upside down. Excuse me a moment. It is more fun that way. Yes. So as adults, we get told at best, find your dream and do it, yeah? How many of you have heard that? Find your dream, the only one you have, as if there's only one. Today, our kids have dressed as their full self to some degree or another. And if you ask them to do that next week, they would probably dress as a different self, yes? They might dress as a different self. I was sitting in my backyard and listening in the park to the conversation in the park the other day, and I have a park with a playground right behind my house. And I heard this adult asking a young girl, what's your name? And she didn't respond. And finally her mother says, her name's Verna May. And it reminded me, we get told who we are from practically birth. You didn't choose your name unless, if you change it later on in your life. Right? You've been told who you are. You've been told what you are. But you're more than that. Even the label by which we're identified. The intellect loves labels. Yeah? It loves order. But the infinite creative self that we are is beyond labeling, and it's not orderly. Yeah? A couple of months ago, we dealt with a theme called Life is Messy. Yeah? So the full self that we choose to express today, and the kids are going to share about their full self in just a moment. And then they're going to ask some of us about our full self. Yes, you're going to get interviewed. And we'll need that microphone. And so I would invite you to pay attention to how you feel as you engage in this process. Are you watching the stream or are you jumping in? So let's pass a microphone over here. And I'm going to let you start this off.
Ooh.
I hand it off to you.
This is a little bit of a big one for me. I'll stand up because I'm going to claim that I am a divine goddess.
Yes.
All right. So I really resonated with Tim's prayer. It's like, you're talking to me. That's awesome. And I have another one that says, I am a star. And so what this means to me, I am a divine goddess, is that I don't always recognize that in myself. And when people talk to me about how I've helped them or what I've helped them to see in themselves, it always comes back to that light and brightness and divinity. And I, on a journey to accept that for myself, and recently have done that in some big ways. And so I'm claiming that today. All right.
Yay.
I am a confident person and I am powerful. It took me a while to realize that I was confident, but there are certain areas where you can tell, right? In 7th grade, I lost a lot of confidence when I was riding horses, and I didn't really progress at all. And then my favorite horse, she died, and that kind of woke me up. I can do this. I can do it. So, and then I gained more confidence, and I am progressing now. So, yeah.
Yay. And could you share your name? Because not everybody here knows you.
I'm Zia.
Yeah, thank you.
For mine, I did more current dreams than things about myself that I would say. So just things that I want to do, like working in cosmetology, and this is a shared dream with Zia, but owning like a farm with horses, just like future dreams.
Thank you. And that's Leah.
I put I'm a star. Yeah. And I also did like a dream that I want to do is I want to be a marine biologist just because I think it's cool and I enjoy working with animals.
Thank you.
I got here kind of late, so I don't know what I'm supposed to say.
What do you feel about what you were talking about in the classroom? What everybody's thoughts were?
Just like recognizing yourself. Okay, I recognize myself as a kind person, and I recognize that I'm in control of how I treat other people, and I choose to treat them with kindness, and that's something I like about myself. Is that around the topic?
Before you pass that on, Maya, I'm sorry. I got all the Ias here. So Maya, I want to acknowledge you because Maya found us online, emailed me, and said, "Can I come to your center? My dad doesn't want to come, but is there a way that I could just come by myself?" So I connected her with Adrian. So thank you for having the initiative and the courage. Lachlan.
One of my dreams is like working with like orcas and like turtles and stuff like that. And I recognize myself as a funny, loving person.
They can, yeah. Go ahead, whoever
So
wants.
you can pick somebody, Lachlan, we'll start with you. Pick somebody in the audience to share. Pick whoever you want.
Okay.
How did I get so lucky? Oh my gosh. You know, when I was a girl back in, like I like to say, the dark ages, nobody said, "What do you want to be? And what are your dreams?" And in those days, dreams for women were a lot more reduced than they are now. A lot of females now are told you can be and do anything you want, and I was not told that. So I'm very thrilled and touched and inspired by what you all are saying here today, and it makes me feel even more enthused about my own life to see you grabbing on to a future that you don't know what it's going to be like, but you can dream about it. And thank you for inspiring me to be the monkey.
And Susan, who's your full self today?
Oh, well, this is funny to me. These earrings right here, I bought them a long time ago because they were in my price point, and I thought they were so cool. And I never had the courage to put them on. They've been just hanging there for probably years. And I thought, I am wearing those earrings today. And then I had to find something that sort of looked semi-good with them. But I literally would not have worn these earrings if I didn't get this invitation.
And tell me what those earrings mean to you.
Oh, they're a little bit like long, and they stand out, and they're an expression of, hey, why not?
Great, great. Thank you.
Do I just give it to anyone? How's your dress?
That's a good. I wanted to follow Susan, so I was focusing on that. And so this dress, I have a lot of double layer dresses, but they're all solid colors. So this is the first one that I ever found that's a printed dress. And I love it. I love the colors. I love the print. But I was kind of scared to wear it because when I do all the things with the top layer, I was concerned that it would get too busy. And so when we were told wear something that'll kind of push your comfort zone, I'm like, that's the opportunity to wear the dress. And so it's kind of like that. Now, I've only had this dress, not for years. This has only like been in my closet maybe 2 months, 3 months. And so I'm glad that you guys had this day that I could get it out because it feels very summer and festive at the same time as power. Like Crystal mentioned, this like my power colors. And so, and one of the reasons that I like dresses that are like this is I get to twirl. And so, so full expression, I get to really play in my favorite clothes.
Wonderful. Thank you. Right?
When I grow up, I want to have the confidence that these women have. And I hope I just admire it. And my full self, I have blue toenails, and I'm actually showing them. I've had them for a week, and I keep them covered up. I'm going on a cruise, and the whole world's going to see my blue toes.
Yay.
And life is good, and I love having the kids here. And thank you so much, and continue to blossom. You're doing wonderful.
And you maybe can connect with Robin and get that dress to match your toenails.
Baby steps.
Hey, I'm interested in hearing what you have to say about your outfit.
My outfit has.
Stand up, girl.
Oh, it's a little painful to
Okay,
stand
sorry.
up because I kind of jumped in the water like a monkey, but I missed.
Okay.
I think sitting down makes a better plan right now. But I'm wearing something that on my legs that I've had for over 30 years because I'm a cello player, and I hated wearing long skirts all the time. So this was my go-to thing, and I love it. And recently, I got this beautiful top from kind of a flea market thing in Louisiana, in New Orleans, with a group of women that I used to spend a lot of time with, but didn't just have that little bit of time. So I'm putting the past and the present together, and my future is guaranteed that my back will heal. Because I did some visioning on it, and I've had lots of help and support, but I missed a step, and that was not the step to miss. So I, in the future, will step more carefully and more brilliantly into my future. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. When you're young, you're told you have a teacher. And you find out when the teacher quits learning, you're no longer a teacher. So I encourage you, because you have infinite amount of time to develop, take all the Thank you for being here.
And Kai, wait a minute, Kai, you're not getting off that easy. Give it back to Kai. Kai, what is your magnificent self today? What is your magnificent self today?
What's my,
What is your magnificent self today?
like it always is. I enjoy every day and continue to try to be my true self. It's always work. My spiritual practices are daily and continual. And when you quit learning, it's a type of death you don't need. You want your ego to die,
Yes.
not your person, eternal self. Thank you.
Thank you, Kai.
I have to say that Kai always comes into my classroom at the beginning of the day and to find out what we are learning. And so he is always learning. So that's awesome.
Thank you. So check in again. How are you feeling at the moment? So what I'm going to invite you to do now, I'm going to read a little quote here. We're going to get a little wet. This is from Mark Nepo from the Book of Awakening from a few days ago. I was once on a screened-in porch on a lake I used to visit every summer for 20 years. My friend and I were watching it rain, as we had done countless times over the years. Suddenly, like that simple and beautiful monkey, my friend bounded up, slapped the screen door open, dropped his clothes, and jumped into the rain-filled lake. I watched like the Zen student, feeling the pain of always being dry. And then I too shed my clothes and jumped into the lake. So I invite you to find somebody nearby you and share with them your magnificent self, your who are you being today in your full magnificence? If you were living out loud, or as you are living out loud, who are you, or who would you be? We'll take 5 minutes to talk to somebody nearby you. And you can move around the room if you need to. So gently wrap that up. Gently wrap that up. So take a breath. Take a breath. And notice how you're feeling now. Little alive, more alive, yes? Yes? Are you willing to feel that more often by living out loud? Yes. So I'm going to invite you to do 3 spiritual practices this week to support living out loud. The first one is play. Play. Do something to engage your inner kid. You know, you might play in the park, you might color or draw. She has plenty of materials if you need to, to support you with that. You might go to the beach and get your feet into the water, in the wet sand. You might go to Captain Little's and downtown and buy a toy. That's a shameless plug for Amy. You can tell her that I said that. I'll tell her. Good. So play. The second thing to do this week I invite you to do is dream. Martin Luther King didn't say I have a set of goals or I have a strategic plan. He said I have a dream. And so start to listen to what is it that I'm dreaming of without having to, I've got to form a plan to make it happen. Just, hey, what am I dreaming of? Just noticing it, no matter how realistic or unrealistic it seems. And it might not be. Can I share what you shared with me? Yes. So Tim has talked about looking at going on the walk of the Santiago over in Portugal and Spain. And yeah. But of course, with a young daughter, he's not in a job. He's not free to go take just 3 months off to go do that. maybe you can train Devaya up to go walking with him. But, but planning for that, that's a dream that, maybe down the road. As you said today, I'm planting seeds. And so just notice your dream. What is it you're dreaming of? That's the second practice. Then the third practice is commit to living a little more out loud. Commit to bringing that playfulness, that dream nature of who you are. Imagine slapping open the screen door of your old conditioning and let your full, incredible self out to shine and play. Would you be willing to play with those practices this week? And I will mention that, in case you're wondering, I am the Wizard of Love. Love is my quality that I come to bring to the world and I come to receive from the world. And so I am a Wizard of Love today and hopefully every day. So that is what I'm playing with. Yes. And I don't always do it well, and I've made a bunch of mistakes like we all do in all of our dreams, yes? But we still keep going. I'm going to close with a reading also from Mark Nepo from the Book of Awakening. I have to look like the wise wizard with the glasses on. The love we show saves the love we hide, the way a sprig in sun feeds its unseen root. Even though I believe in living in the open, parts of me hide. How many of us can relate to that? Okay. I can't help it. But what I can help is which parts of me, the open or the hidden, run my life. What I can rely on is this inexplicable knowing that when I'm in the open, life nourishes even those parts so sorely hidden. Just as green stems in spring stay connected to their darker roots, and just as the roots grow when the stems do, my compassion soothes my fear where I can't see. Unknown to me, my love feeds the underside of my confusion. The light I take in keeps the roots of my soul alive. We become so preoccupied with what we are not able to address, what we are not able to mend, what we are not able to leave behind, that we forget that whatever we are in the light of day is slowly but surely healing the rest of us. I invite you to play in the light of day. We have an affirmation. Please join me. I boldly, playfully, and joyfully live out loud as my full, incredible self. One more time. I boldly, playfully, and joyfully live out loud as my full, incredible self. And so I do, and so it is.